Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Om Akhandananda Sambodha Bandhanat Yasya Jayate Govindam Tamaham Vande Chidananda Tanum Gurum. So yesterday, in the previous class, we were seeing the pañcīkaraṇa. What is pañcīkaraṇa? There are 5 elements, which is apañcīkarta pancamahabhuta, we call it. Meaning unprocessed 5 elements. We have this unprocessed 5 elements, we call it tanmatra. Right? From that tanmatra, each element, what we do is we split it into 2. Okay, half into 2 equal halves. The first half, top portion, we leave it as it is. The bottom portion, the bottom half, we split it into 4 again. Okay. Now, Akasha has a top portion Akasha and the bottom portion, which is half of Akasha. The bottom portion is also Akasha, but it is split into 4 portions. Okay, 4 quarters. Now, each of this quarter, you have to, from Akasha, you take 1 quarter associated with the Vayu, another quarter associated with the fire, another quarter associated with water, another quarter associated with the earth. Now, only top portion of Akasha remains. Now, the other portion, the second element, which is the air. There also we have these 4 quarters of the second half. So associate each quarter with the other elements leaving its own. If you are going to associate the elements of air, leave the air, associate the quarters with other elements. Now, if you do like this, what happens is there will be half of Akasha and 1 quarter of, 1 quarter means 1/8. 1/8 of air, 1/8 of fire, 1/8 of water, and 1/8 of air, earth. Right? So in air also, half portion will be air, 1/8 of ether, space, 1/8 of fire, 1/8 of water, 1/8 of earth. Similarly, in other elements also we have. So this is what is pañcīkarta pancamahabhuta, processed 5 elements. This is the methodology of processing. He accepted. Now, amuṣya pañcīkaranasya āprāmāṇyaṃ na śaṅkyatām upalakṣaṇam asyapi tattrivṛtkaraṇaśrutiḥ. Amuṣya pañcīkaranasya āprāmāṇyaṃ śaṅkyatām upalakṣaṇam asyapi tattrivṛtkaraṇaśrutiḥ. What he says is amuṣya. Let us understand this. Amuṣya pañcīkaranasya, for this pañcīkarana, āprāmāṇyaṃ na śaṅkyatām, we should not have any doubts regarding its validity. Āprāmāṇyata means non-validity. Don't think that it is invalid, that is non-valid. Why? Why will I think like that? See, that is why he brings in another. Tattrivṛtkaraṇaśrutiḥ, the Trivṛtkaraṇaśruti, asyapi upalakṣaṇam, is also a pointer to this pañcīkarana. I don't understand what you are talking about. Let us understand it in plain English. There is processed 5 elements. This is Taittiriya and in Bradhanika it speaks about a processed 3 elements, or Chandogya Upanishad, I don't remember. So in Chandogya Upanishad, it accepts the processed 3 elements, or both. 3 elements, only processed 3 elements, which is leaving the space and air, all the 3 elements. It expresses as lohita shukla krishna, lohita shukla krishna. It doesn't say that this is a fire, water, and earth. It says lohita shukla krishna, red, white, and brown or black. Okay, so red is fire, white is water, and black is earth. Now, it doesn't speak about the creation of a space and air. If we don't accept the creation of space and air and accept it as eternal, oh, space and air are not created, they are eternal. Because logicians accept the space to be eternal. There is no tanmatra of space. Space is eternal. It is not created. So there may be some other stupid logician who also accepts the air to be eternal. Let us suppose. Then we will not be talking about Vedanta. Vedanta is Bhedanta. Bheda-anta. Bheda means duality. End of duality is Vedanta. Okay. Now, if you accept the ether and air to be eternal, then there are three eternals. One is self, the other is ether and air. There will be a problem. We don't accept that. So, what we say is, see, in the pañcīkaraṇa, atmana ākāśa sambhūtaḥ, from atma, from the self, came into existence the ether, space. That is what we said. But we also added a maya in between. From atma, through maya, ether, space came into existence. Why? Without the association of maya, the self has no capability to create anything. Anything for that matter. Leave alone space. Anything. Because self is a nirguna. Self is a nishkriya. It is without any attributes and it is without any activity. So self cannot create anything. So we have to bring in the maya. Like that, we also bring in the creation of space and air in the tattrivṛtkaraṇa. Okay. Now, there may be a doubt. Shruti talks about pañcīkaraṇa. The same Shruti talks about tattrivṛtkaraṇa also. Meaning, the Shruti talks about a creation of 5 elements. The same Shruti talks about creation of only 3 elements. Different places, but Shruti they are, right? That it is invalid. Why? Okay. I can either accept the 5 elements or 3 elements. Either or. There is no possibility 5 elements and 3 elements. There is never a possibility. So, Shruti is self-contradictory. Something which is self-contradictory in the world, we will never accept that to be true. If I am going to contradict myself on and off again and again, then you are not going to accept my teaching. Whatever I say, he is a liar. Over. So, Shruti is a liar now. Because Shruti says 5 elements, Shruti says the same Shruti says the 3 elements. Now, they are contradictory with each other. Now, if I am not even, oh, Shruti is, don't say Shruti to be liar. Okay. Then, one of them should be a lie. You cannot accept both. You should have to give up one. Which do you choose? Color, what color do you choose? We used to play in childhood. No? Which is that creation you are going to choose? 5 elements, then 3 elements is a lie. 3 elements, then 5 element is wrong. So, one of them is wrong. Which one is wrong? How do you decide? I say 5 elements, therefore you accept 5 elements. That is not a logical. We have to analyze things through logic. This is not logic. I say you accept. That is not logic. So, what is that logical conclusion you bring in here? Because if one of them is wrong, according to me, I can choose the other one probably. I can use some logic and I can choose the other one. So, which one is right and which one is wrong depends upon our mental capability. So, this mumbo jumbo of logic is not acceptable. So, there is a contradiction in Shruti. Shruti is wrong. If you are going to say this to Vedanti, what should Vedanti do? He should have to protect his philosophy, right? He should have to say, no. Shruti is right. It is this, like he said here. that Trivṛtkaraṇa is also a pointer to pañcīkaraṇa. It also points out to pañcīkaraṇa, the 5 elements creation. When we say 3 elements, we didn't explain the other 2 elements because they don't have any form. We started with form. Air doesn't have form. Similarly, its cause, which is space, ether, that also does not have any form. So, formless creation, we are not, you cannot conceive it, you cannot see it. So, we are not talking about it, that's all. Otherwise, we are talking only about 5 elements. That is the answer we will give. That's the answer normally they give. But if you come to me as a Vedanti and you ask, then we have an answer, which is yes, they are both wrong. What? They are both wrong. Why? How do you say they are both wrong? It's said by Shruti, right? So what? Shruti just lied to you. You accept Shruti is to be lie? Yes. Then how can we accept her? Shruti didn't have any tatparya. There is no intention of establishing the creation. That is why when you said 3, when you asked her, how did this creation come into existence? 5 elements. How did creation come into existence? 3 elements. It just says. So we don't have to even think about matter and non-matter and all those ideas, because Shruti is not interested in establishing the creation. That is what we have to understand. Shruti is not interested in establishing the existence of creation. Because we experience the creation, we have to see it from there and negate it. Since we are seeing the snake, we have to see from the point of view of snake and then remove the snake. That is what Shruti is trying to say. By 5 elements, 3 elements. Otherwise, Shruti is not really interested in establishing the creation. Therefore, it just says contradictory things. It is self-contradictory for a very valid reason, because it has no interest in or intention in establishing the creation. That is the idea. Okay. Now, pañcānāmapi bhūtānāṃ śrūyate'nyatra sambhavaḥ tathāh prāmāṇikaṃ pañcīkaraṇaṃ manyatāṃ budhaiḥ. Though Trivṛtkaraṇam is established very clearly in the Shruti, the creation of 5 elements also is seen very clearly in the Shruti itself. Like Tattrivṛtkaraṇaśya very clearly says, Atmana ākāśavāyvordharmastu kāśāt vayu. We have seen it enough times. So, therefore, he says, pañcānāmapi bhūtānāṃ śrūyate'nyatra sambhavaḥ tataḥ prāmāṇikaṃ pañcīkaraṇaṃ manyatāṃ budhaiḥ. So, he says, pañcānāmapi bhūtānāṃ, even for the 5 elements, anyatra pañcānāmapi, in another place in the Shruti, pañcānāmapi bhūtānāṃ sambhavaḥ śrūyate. For this, the creation, sambhava means creation, manifestation. Manifestation, creation of these 5 elements are also heard very clearly. Meaning, it is said in the Shruti. Tataḥ, therefore, budhaiḥ, a person who is a wise man, pañcīkaraṇaṃ prāmāṇikam manyatāṃ, should accept the pañcīkaraṇa to be valid. Should accept the pañcīkaraṇa to be valid. Remember this. Pañcīkaraṇa is as valid as the creation. Meaning, if you see the creation as non-existence, pañcīkaraṇa also does not hold any water. It is also an illusion. If creation is illusion, pañcīkaraṇa is also an illusion. There is no, we don't shy away from accepting that. It is okay for us. It is acceptable for us. So, pañcīkaraṇa or anything for that matter is valid in the realm of world. Otherwise, there is no real validity for anything in the world except for the self. Except for the self, there is nothing which is valid. That is why we Vedantins don't negate the other philosophies, Sankhya, Yoga, etc. ato'prāmāṇika. We don't say it as ato'prāmāṇika. It is not pramana for us. That's all. Can be pramana for someone else. Can be valid means for someone else, not for us. We are not interested in the world of duality. We are interested in non-duality, the self. Understanding our real nature. Therefore, for us, that is for moksha, that is not a pramana. That is what we are saying. Okay. So now, even though we established this pañcīkarana in a beautiful way, there may be some doubt possible. Though we may not be able to conceive it, Vedanta himself presents a doubt like a opponent's view. He says, don't doubt this. Like that, Vedanti presents. pratyakṣādivirodhaḥ syāt anyatha kriyate yadi ākāśavāyvordharmastu vahnyādāvupalabhyate yathā tathā ākāśavāyvornāgnyāderdharma īkṣyate ato'prāmāṇikamiti na kiñcidapi cintyatām pratyakṣādivirodhaḥ syāt anyatha kriyate yadi ākāśavāyvordharmastu vahnyādāvupalabhyate yathā tathā ākāśavāyvornāgnyāderdharma īkṣyate atah ato'prāmāṇikamiti na kiñcidapi cintyatām. Beautiful. Anyatha yadi kriyate. If you don't accept this pañcīkarana, if you accept this pañcīkarana still, meaning if you accept this pañcīkarana still, even with all these things, then pratyakṣādivirodhaḥ. There will be a contradiction with the pratyaksha, etc. Direct perception. What is the contradiction with the direct perception? If you are going to accept the creation of 5 elements, what is it? What is the contradiction with the direct perception? I'll explain. ākāśavāyvordharmastu vahnyādau yathā upalakṣaṇa tathā ākāśavāyvornāgnyāderdharma na īkṣyate. This is what is the statement. We'll understand this. Then we'll go to the shloka again. See, we mix so that one element, attribute of one element can be seen in other element. Okay. Now, the nature of space is a shabda gunakam ākāśam, sound. The attribute of the dharma of space is sound. Vayu, its effect. Vayu, it is a touch. Vayu also has a sound. That is sound. Nature of ether is there in Vayu also, air also. Now, fire. Fire has a crackling noise. That is of noise. Noise means akasha. The attribute of akasha is there in fire. Touch, there is a heat. That is also there. The attribute of air. So, the attribute of the nature of, inherent nature of the ether and inherent nature of air are seen very clearly in fire. Right? What is the inherent nature of fire? Nature of heat? No. Then what? Form. Form is the inherent nature of fire. Now, if you say it's all mumbo jumbo mixture, then this form should be seen in ether and air. Do you see anywhere space having a form or air having a form? No, we don't see. Therefore, it is not right. This pañcīkarana idea itself is a stupid mumbo jumbo. It is not right. Iti atah ato'prāmāṇikamiti. Therefore, it is not valid. It's not a valid proof. This whole mumbo jumbo of a pañcīkarana itself is invalid. Processing itself is invalid. There is no proof for it. Iti kiñcidapi na cintyatām. Don't even think like this. In this lines. Don't even think in these lines. Why? Because we have an answer for this. What is the answer? khavyāptirvidyate khāṃśavyāptiśca khavyāptirvidyate vidyate pāvakādiṣu tenopalabhyate śabdaḥ karanasya tirekataḥ. In 3.5 shlokas he is answering. Tatha navasvato dharmah apyagnyādāvupalabhyate na tatha vidyate vyāptihi manyadehe kha navasvato sūkṣmatvat amṣavyāptehe tadharmo'pyagnyādāvupalabhyate karanasyanurupeena karyam sarvatra drishyate tasmat prāmāṇikamiti budhaiḥ pañcīkaraṇaṃ. First, before understanding the word meaning, we'll understand the overall meaning of these shlokas. From Tattrivṛtkaraṇaśya, we understand one thing very clearly. Atmana ākāśa sambhūtaḥ. From the self, ether came into existence. Ākāśavāt vāyuh. From the ether came into existence vayu. Meaning there is a cause-effect relationship. Fifth case, cause. Okay, there is a cause-effect relationship. Air is cause, space is cause, ether is cause for air. Air is cause for fire. Fire is cause for water. Water is cause for earth. There is a cause-effect relationship. Meaning, directly from space, air came into existence. Indirectly from space, earth came into existence. Because the earth is an effect of ether. So indirectly there is a connection between cause-effect relationship between the ether and earth. Great grandfather, grandfather, father, son. Okay, then grandson. Now the gene pool, whatever is the corrupt or proper gene, that is passed on to the next generation. But the problem in our generation is not carried forward to the previous generation. It doesn't go inverse. It goes only in the proper direction. Right? So, this is what we have to understand. Between ether and the other elements, there is a cause-effect relationship. A. Between ether and other elements, there is also amuṣya relationship, a limb relationship, association of a limb. So, in air, there is a 1/8 portion of ether. In fire, there is 1/8 portion of ether. In water, there is 1/8 portion of ether. In earth, there is 1/8 portion of ether. Right? So, there is cause-effect relationship between ether and the other elements. There is amuṣya relationship, association of limb with ether and other elements also. So this is established. Now, with ether, there is causal relationship, also amuṣya relationship, limb relationship. Now, with fire, let us go to the middle element. Fire is a cause for water and earth, but that association, causal association, does not go to the previous air or ether. There is no cause-effect relationship between the cause as a fire and effect as air and ether. Right? That kind of cause-effect relationship is not there. Meaning, fire is not cause for earth and air, air and ether. Okay. Now, but limb relationship, 1/8 portion of fire exists in ether, exists in air also. That relationship is there. So there are two relationships possible. One is the cause relationship, cause-effect relationship, so which flows down from top to bottom. And the other relationship is the amuṣya relationship, the limb relationship, which is with all the elements. Okay. So he says now, khavyāptiśca, khaṃśavyāptiśca vidyate pāvakādiṣu tena upalabhyate śabdaḥ कारणस्य अतिरेकतः तथा नभस्वतः धर्मः अपि अज्ञादौ उपलभ्यते न तथा विद्यते व्याप्तिः वह्न्यादेः स्व ख नभस्वतः सूक्ष्मत्वात् अंशक व्याप्तेः तद्धर्मः न उपलभ्यते कारणस्य अनुरूपेण कार्यं सर्वत्र दृश्यते तस्मात् प्रामाण्यम् एष्टव्यं बुधैः पञ्चीकृतैः अपि. Now, pāvakādiṣu. Pāvaka word is from puī pavane dhatu, to purify. Fire is that which purifies everything. Okay, so that is why it is called as pāvaka, purifier. In fire, etc. Fire, etc. means fire, water, earth. In all these, khāṃśavyāptiśca, khavyāptirvidyate vidyate. There are two associations with ether. One is a cause-effect relationship, khavyāptihi. The other is a khāṃśavyāpti, the limb relationship, 1/8 portion relationship. So both relationships are there. Tena, because of this relation, these two relationships, existence of these two relationships, atirekatah karanasya, as there is a greater amount of relationship, which is a causal relationship. Therefore, śabdaḥ upalabhyate. The sound is seen in the nature of ether, which is sound, is seen in the fire. Tathākāśavāyvordharma nabhasvatah dharmo'pyagnyādāvupalabhyate. Similarly, the nature of nabha means air. The nature of air, which is the touch, that is also seen in the fire, etc. Okay, upalabhyate. Tathā, similarly, kha nabhaspatoho vahnyādehe vyaptihi na vidyate. The cause-effect relationship in this, the cause as a fire, etc., and the effect as a ether and air does not exist. But there is a ākāśavāyvordharmastu, there is association of limbs in the ether and air with other elements, fire, water, and the earth. Right? Therefore, and amuṣya, 1/8 portion, not even 1/4, 1/8 portion. 1/8 portion exists in the other elements, which is a minuscule amount. Therefore, sukshmatvat, since that is very subtle, tad dharmah na upalabhyate. Its attribute, its nature, the nature of fire in ether or air is not visible very clearly. It's not perceived very clearly. And karanasya anurupena sarvatra karyam drishyate. We have seen this logic 100 times, 1000 times. Karana anurupasya karana anurupena karya, karana anurupunatvat karyasya, karana anurupatvat karyasya. The effect has the nature of cause. Never we see the cause having the nature of effect. We always see the effect having the nature of cause. So the inherent nature of cause is flowing in the effect also. Everywhere that is how it is seen. Sarvatra drishyate. Everywhere it is seen. So therefore, tasmat pañcīkrate api prāmāṇyaṃ budhaiḥ eshtavyam. This pañcīkaraṇa also, this the processed 5 elements also, this processing also should be accepted by the wise man without any doubt. So why do you see the sound in fire but not the form in ether? Because ether is cause and fire is effect. So nature of cause can flow in the effect, but nature of effect cannot flow to the cause. That is the idea. Okay. So, but the 1/8 portion, which the association we talk about, that is there, but since it is very subtle, it cannot be perceived like this. It cannot be perceived like this. That is why we see in one wood the smell of earth. Smell. Earth means smell, and the touch of air, and the sound of ether, then the heat of fire, and sometimes the water also. Every aspect is there in one wood. Okay, so therefore pañcīkarana should be accepted. That is what is the idea. We'll see. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamādāya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.